My guest, Dr. K Sarpong, and we are going to talk about Kennedy Japan. But before then, Doc, what's the state of the New Patriotic Party currently, the party you belong to?
Just as you see it, from our highs, if we have just about 86 or so parliamentary seats, it should tell you all isn't well. That is all I can say. I mean, that sums it all.
How did you end up here? Because it's been long in coming. You narrowly lost election 2009.
Yes.
2012, you thought and believed that you won that election. 2016, because that's why you went to the Supreme Court.
Yeah.
2016, you won bigly. 2020, you dropped. 2024, almost annihilated.
No, that's the right word.
Yeah.
Yes.
The tragedy of your trajectory has been pathetic.
Yes.
What do you blame for that?
Well, I think I've said it on many channels. We lost touch with our own base. The base, yes, we lost touch. We had a wonderful first year for President Akufo-Addo, but a combination of factors conspired against his second term. Those beyond his control, like COVID, the World Economic Order, fuel prices going up, and all those things, inflation going up globally. But things which were difficult times. But also maybe internally, we also had challenges with our own governance performance. And we need to face it. You can't run away from that. That things were not too well, and the public sentiments were negative, and the signs were on the wall that we were losing the elections. You see, so it seems to be a trend. I mean, naturally in politics there's ups and downs. Otherwise, like the Conservative Party in UK wouldn't lose heavily to Labour. It does happen once in a while. But when it happens, then you do diagnosis and see how best you can salvage the situation.
The Kufuor government perhaps was the most successful MPP government until 2016. When I mean success, I'm talking about at the polls. So Kufuor won in 2001 for the first time in a long time and repeated that victory in 2004. We've seen what the Kufuor government did. Largely the people who were in Kufuor's government also played very key roles in the Akufo-Addo government. Osafo Mafo, Kandapa, Hakman, all these people who worked with Akufo-Addo under the Kufuor government are the same people who ran the Akufo-Addo government with him. So where did things go wrong, or what happened? Because if the Kufuor era was good, then how come it didn't continue?
We had two different presidents. Maybe they had different styles. But I don't think the cabinet was the same. Yes. You need to admit.
But there were a lot of people in the Kufuor cabinet who
not too many.
Alan Chamantin was there.
Yeah.
Osafo Mafo.
Osafo Mafo, senior minister. Yeah. What post is that?
That's like vice president. That's like head of economic management.
No, he's not the head of.
Ajiman Menu was in Kufuor's government.
As deputy minister.
Yes, he got upgraded.
So, I mean, I'm not saying that, yes, obviously it's the same group of people. Mm-hmm. They are the same politicians who move from one stage to another. Yes, so for me, it's more about policies, it's more about the style of leadership, it's more about commitment. So I think that maybe one would need a very serious analysis. And it's something for political scientists, those who are there, to do PhD in these areas, try to analyze.
But if things were so well in the first term and again, then things start going bad in second term. And we can blame COVID, we can blame Ukraine, but we could also blame something local, something in the government. Something
like
was
what?
missing.
You give me suggestions so
okay.
I can comment.
So things were going bad. NPP people went up in arms and said, fire your finance minister or fire our finance minister. Something I've never seen in my life. I'm not sure whether you have seen it too.
Not at all.
That members of parliament of a governing party would say, fire the finance minister. And it never happens.
Yes, that's why I talk about style and commitment. Maybe Papa Kufuor would have listened But for whatever reason, unfortunately, President Akufo-Addo decided to hold the finance minister, to have him in place. Kufuor made reshuffles. That wasn't the style of President Akufo-Addo. So at least there are a whole lot of this. But of course, for almost the entire parliament complaining about the finance minister, if I were the president, I would have changed it.
You would have changed.
That's all I would say.
There are critics of Akufo-Addo who say he was not listening to advice from party leaders, senior members of the party and all of that. You worked with him. He appointed you for 4 years or so.
Yes.
What kind of person was an Akufo-Addo president? Different from
well,
what he was not?
If you work in the corporate world, I don't think you have a daily or frequent encounters with the president. You work through your ministers, yes. But if there was things which were very critical, you may be summoned to the presidency. We did it a couple of times. But in those instances, he showed leadership, trying to help us to get things done in the oil sector. And I think that one, I will give him thumbs up. You see, maybe others had a different experience, but K Sarpong had a good relationship with the president, and we could discuss matters objectively.
And he would listen to you or argue with you, debate you, and decide on...
Oh, yeah, I also debate him. And he will tell you, I mean, anytime we met, he will tell you, I'll state my points, because I come as a technocrat, not as a politician. And I think there were instances that we had stormy arguments, but at the end of the day, we disagreed to agree. Yes.
And you moved the ship of state forward.
Yes.
But at the end of the day, that ship crashed in 2024 in a very terrible way.
Well, you would say so. And there were many actors. Maybe my caliber, there were not too many of them, but at least I held my own, and I had good working relationship with the president and the ministers.
You still do?
Yes, we got.
Do you still have a good relationship with Akufo-Addo?
I do. You can't underrate somebody who has been president before. You need to accord him all the necessary courtesies, all the respect. How many of us will ever be president? One at a time. So wherever we get there, and I think I said it today about people who try to maybe smear the president, the ex-president. Obviously, there were good things he did, and others that could have been done better. But on balance, you cannot say that everything he did was rubbish. And that is why I'm saying that anybody who has been president before, that's why when they leave, we don't call them by their, you say President Akufo-Addo, President Mama, whether they've left the office or not. It's a sacred office that must be respected.
So when people blame Akufo-Addo for the challenges of the New Patriotic Party, particularly at the polls, and they say that he's the one who has brought you this low, would you agree with them?
That's a difficult one for me to answer. It depends on where you are coming from. My concern, which I've expressed variously, is the fact that the party or the party should be allowed to elect its own leaders without coercion, without intimidation. That is where maybe sometimes things go wrong. And the moment you do that, you install a leader for us, a flag bearer for us, who does not appear to be acceptable to all of us because we criticize the way it was done. Then in that case, we create a problem for the entire party going into an election.
Are you referring to 2023 because Alan Chemantin left the party angry because of how things were done? I think Bache Jaku also had issues with how the primaries were done. Is that what you're referencing?
Well, I think we need to be honest. That is where it all started.
So there was a view that there was an imposition of a candidate by the system at the time?
Definitely.
And you think that that played a role in affecting your...
So much.
Because I know that when it comes
that
to...
obviously breeds apathy. if that happens, it breeds apathy. And I think we need to confront that issue.
But
that's why I keep on preaching that when a president is leaving, he should allow the rank and file to choose his own leader. You may have your preference, but it may not necessarily be the one that the people want.
But President Akufo-Addo did not publicly endorse his vice president at the time for the flag bearership race.
Omar?
Yes, sir.
Were you in Ghana?
Oh yes, I was at the.
Actions sometimes speak louder than words.
Maybe it's implied. Maybe people think that because
that was a
vice
perception. I've said, and perceptions can be dangerous. That was a perception.
So come out and say that.
If the whole party machinery, if the whole government machinery goes behind one candidate, what do you think will be the repercussions?
It means the head of the government endorses it.
Yes, I mean we need to be careful. They have a choice to make individually, but you don't use the whole machinery to drive your choice.
Didn't Kufuor do that? We were told Kufuor's choice was Alan Chermantin, and that was loudly proclaimed.
Yes, I've heard him recently saying that he never did.
Yes.
He's saying it.
But
my perception at the time was that he did it. That was my perception.
So it was wrong at the time?
Definitely wrong. And I say it clearly in my memoir. I do say it without mincing words, because that is what we all perceived to be the position.
Do you think if Akufo-Addo was not seen and his government was not seen to be endorsing Dr. Bawumia in 2023, the outcome may have been different?
Well, maybe better, but as we're losing, we'll have lost. Because
I don't mean the general election. I mean the flag bearership. You think that Bawumia could have lost if the government and the machinery of the party were not seen to be?
We didn't experience, so it's difficult you can only conjecture.
No, because you have a difficulty with him, his seeming endorsement of his vice president.
Yes.
And I'm saying that, do you think that if he did not appear to
maybe if he didn't do it, it could have been a different outcome. It could have been the same.
But the party will feel that we did it.
The party will feel that, we have elected the one that we want.
Did you support Dr. Bawumia in 2023 or you supported Ken Sarpong?
Ken?
You
I didn't.
So why did you support Bawumia at the time and not supporting him this time?
There was this, Akufo-Addo had a compelling argument about the northern versus the Akan divide. The party being branded Akan, and therefore he's saying that we should let a northern candidate come. I think that was a plausible.
He pushed that idea.
Yes, I think that was a plausible.
He said give the north a chance.
Yes, that one was a plausible argument. But then if we did, the whole combination of religion, the whole combination of minority, even in the north, you see, you're going to do a matrix. And later when you do simulation or you do what I call regression analysis, you'll be able to see which factors pushed or which factor was more pervasive.
Tell me which one you noticed for your regression
I haven't
analysis.
done that kind of scientific analysis.
But there were a number of things on the ballot paper, weren't they? So there was Dr. Bawumia as a person on the ballot.
Yes.
There was Dr. Bawumia's ethnicity on the ballot and his religion on the ballot. There are people who think that those things don't play a role. There are people who think that they actually play a role. Then there was a shadow of Akufo-Addo on the ballot, i.e. the performance of his government, because there's a view that to break the eight must have been successful. So if the eight was not successful, you cannot break it. Which one do you think played a bigger role?
You're forcing me to answer. But I think we need to admit that the economy issue was very strong. It went against us.
So that would be an Akufo-Addo problem?
That would be a government problem.
Yes, led by Akufo-Addo.
A government problem.
Okay. Which, if we are apportioning blame and we give economy as part of the problems, would we say Bawumia's character was a problem?
What is wrong with his character? I want to know.
Would we say his ethnicity or religion was a problem?
Well, religion, people speculate. But for me, I personally, we've had Kufuor and Aliyu on the ballot, a Muslim Christian, and he went. He could have turned the other way. So seriously, but the economy was an issue.
So then why do we So then why should we say, let's change the driver? When the driver was not the problem, it was the goods he had in his car that was the problem.
But did he play a part?
Yes.
Was he instrumental in that?
It was a mate.
How do you say a mate?
He was just opening the door, picking passengers.
Please. No, I mean, those things are jokes. You understand? Let us be serious about the thing. If you drove the economy, you drove the economy because the president brought you as his economic messiah, and you drove it, and then things went bizarre. Why do you want to take yourself out of it? Somebody was arguing that Akufo-Addo didn't allow Bawumia to work. And I said, how can you say that? 8 years? K Sarpong, I would have resigned. If I did not find it that I had a role to play and that I was just chopping state money.
If you felt redundant?
Yes, felt redundant, that's the word.
You would have quit.
Oh, yeah, I would have
so
quit.
To the extent that he did not quit in 8 years, he cannot claim that he was not...
He cannot. Just like the cabinet ministers. Why should they absorb themselves? They were all part of it. If you live with your president in the cabinet room, we are not there. And from what I know or I have learned, there you have free exchange of ideas. But if somehow you were intimidated and you couldn't, how can you jump outside and say that, oh, as for me, I was not part of it? So please, that one, the Akufo-Addo baggage affected all his serious appointees. You understand?
Including his vice.
Obviously.
But the point is made, and you and I have had this conversation. Ken Ofori-Atta is a big elephant in the room. Osafo Maafo was senior, Minister of State. There's a view that Bawumia was not allowed to do his things and that Ken was the man who was running the whole show. So he was just reduced to doing digitalization. Has
Bawumia said that he wasn't allowed to do his work? I want to know from you. Has he ever made that pronouncement? People are speculating.
He said he had some things he objected to, but of course there's a collective decision, so you have to be part of it.
Cabinet is a collective responsibility. Cabinet, I mean, he's a friend. I mean, we shared lamentations together. But at the end of the day, vice president is not a small post too.
But what if you are made, like
you said Osafo Maafo, senior minister.
Yes.
Were the ministers reporting through him to the president?
I don't know how the role was.
Yeah. So what was his power?
But you were in that government. Was Ken Ofori-Atta not more powerful?
I worked to the Minister for Energy, occasionally Minister for Finance when I'm chasing my money. He never dictated to me how I ran Tama Oil. GMPC. No.
Because you've mentioned your minister, let me just bring this in before going inside. Your minister was Matthew Opoku-Prempeh. He started as education.
I had Amewu.
You had Peter Amewu.
Yeah.
Do you think he contributed to your party's defeat?
Who?
Napo as running mate in 2022.
How would I know that?
You saw his actions, his utterances.
Which actions? He campaigned throughout the country. I never followed him to every place. How would I make that judgment?
Okay.
Those who work closely will be the one to make that statement. Unfortunately, I have not seen the Okwe report, unfortunately.
Oh, they didn't show it to you?
Oh.
Yeah, I see a member of the party.
Oh, who has seen it?
I thought they would show it to you and say, Papa, this is what we're going to cook. So at least you senior people, they should give you one or two.
Oh, no, I don't think. They said it's shelved. I mean, so let us see.
It's good you mentioned again that the president's baggage, Akufo-Addo's baggage, affected other people, including those who were in his cabinet and all of that. So Dr. Bernard Champong, Dr. Yawose Duchum, and so would Kennedy Ohene-Jepon, who was a board chairman.
Board chairs are for 6 months or for 1 year?
Board chairs are big.
Please.
They give policy direction.
Please. Don't belittle governance. Board chair.
Yes.
When you work to the minister, and is a company,
yes,
the company board of directors say they will do this or that.
Yes.
What is wrong with where he was the board chair? I want to know.
So board chairs are insignificant?
They are important. But you cannot ascribe certain things to them. I want to know what his chairmanship of Ghana Gas brought, which was negative. I just want to know.
No, but I would also want to know if a minister could be more powerful than the president. Because if we want to say that, oh, the board chair reports to his minister, then we can equally say that a minister in the government also reports to the president. And it's only things that are approved in cabinet that is that. So ultimately, then we should blame only the president and nobody else, if that's how it goes.
You see, maybe you look at the, I can see where you are driving it to say that don't blame Dr. Baumia, but blame Akufo-Addo. Yes, the ultimate...
Or don't blame Brian Achampong.
The ultimate responsibility goes to the president. But in the process, he's got a number of assistants who should help him carry out his programs. And if you're a vice president, or you're a finance minister, or you're an energy minister, you'll be in that space where you give your contribution. And I'm saying that you cannot come and tell me, energy minister, that the president didn't allow you to work. If you had good initiatives, and he said they were not good, he won't allow you to work, then maybe the wisest thing to do was to quit.
This face-to-face on ChannelOne television, my guest, Dr. K Sarpong. When we come back, the character Ken Sarpong, why did he choose to support him? What new things is he expecting to see from a Ken Sarpong presidency? Please stay with us.